Pleasant morning to the media, pleasant morning, and Happy New Year to you all and to the wider Trinidad and Tobago. Let me also send greetings to fire officers, police, prison officers, defense force personnel, and across the public service and all workers in general. Let me say seasoned greetings on behalf of myself and my association, the Passengers Association. Comrades, I wouldn't say too much this morning. I think that Comrade PG would have succinctly articulated the views of the protective services insofar as our views are that we are not in support of mandatory vaccination whatsoever. We hold the premise or the concept that it is my body, my choice. We hold up that as our views. We continue to express that the officers belonging to the protective services are standing in full solidarity with the trade union movement in this instance and in most instances going forward. In respect of the protective services, I want to say that in the coming days, you can expect that we will jointly, the protective services, say some more things in full solidarity with the joint trade union movement going forward and in terms of specifics, in terms of how we intend to deal with the current situation. But let me just say, suffice it to say that we are not relenting on this issue. Our views are that our members have the constitutional right to choose what medical procedures are applied to them and themselves and their own bodies. And we are of the view that the state, in making this announcement of this policy, would have made a rash decision. Notwithstanding, the Prime Minister would have said they gave thought to it. The mere fact that we, as the entire trade union movement, are now in this situation where we are clamoring even for a response from the state. Clearly, the state did not do all that it could do, and therefore the state is in breach of its own position to follow the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization have articulated quite clearly that no government ought to impose mandatory vaccination unless they did everything possible to increase the vaccination rate. And we reject the view that everything was done. Clearly, it is not done. I want to say on behalf of the fire officers in Trinidad and Tobago, we are real human beings. We are public servants. We are emergency workers. We have been on the front line. We are the ones alongside the nurses, the medical personnel, and all other protective services that you, the state, would have stood and applauded for being on the front line. And now you are threatening us with removing our salaries if we don't comply with what your view is. I want to say that fire officers have real concerns. They need questions answered. There are real concerns, and those concerns are not exclusive to one particular level in society. It is throughout the society. Clearly, people have concerns, and those concerns must be addressed. And we reject the view that it is properly addressed, and therefore, this position to impose this mandatory vaccination on us as public officers, we cannot accept at this time. And in that regard, you can be assured that the protective services in the coming days will be making some announcements in terms of our next steps going forward on this. I just want to use this opportunity to address the issue of the requests being made for your vaccination status. And I want to advise the officers in the fire service, especially, and whomever it is applicable to, that that information is regarded as your private information, and there is nothing that is enshrined in your regulations or any law that makes it mandatory that you provide that information. It is your information and it is your choice. I want to send out also a warning to those personnel within the fire service or any organization that have adopted the posture as being agents of the state and are now carrying out that mandate in such a way to intimidate their own colleagues into providing that information, and are recording that information in some instances inaccurately. And let me say, I mean that when officers are reporting that they do not wish to provide the information, they are being recorded as unvaccinated. That is the reports we are getting, and we are warning those agents of the state. Please record the information accurately. Our position is that we are not obliged to provide that information, and any action taken on the officers in respect of inaccurate recording of information, the association and the trade union movement, we will take the necessary action to ensure that that issue is addressed in a very, very serious way. So with that being said, comrades, I'm not going to stay long. As I said, I think that the comrades here would have quite succinctly articulated the views of the protective services. We all stand in solidarity. We say the same thing. It is our body, it is our choice. And I want to thank you for giving us that listening ear. And please look forward to our statements that we will be making as the Joint Protective Services, that is the police, prisons, and fire service, in the coming days. Thanks, comrades.